I'm at the Worcester studio by myself tonight. We're gonna do power yoga. So I'm gonna give you guys a minute to grab your mats, to get yourself settled in. And then when you have everything you need, you can come down to your mat. And we're gonna begin our power practice tonight in a kneeling pose. So we come into hero pose. Let your hips just sit back over your heels. And if this feels like it's too intense for you and you'd rather just take a seat, go ahead and just take a seat. And as you begin your practice, you can let your palms just rest over the thighs. You can turn your palms up to the sky and soften your shoulders away from the ears. Take a nice deep cleansing breath in through your nostrils. And exhale, let a great big sigh go from the mouth. Try to let it all go. Draw your right ear to your right shoulder. Let the left shoulder become really heavy. Exhale the chin to center. Open up length and space through the back of your neck. Inhale your left ear to your left shoulder. You can roll your head side to side. And if it feels okay for your neck and shoulder to take the head all the way around in a circle, you can go ahead and just start to loop your head around. Maybe just imagining that you're drawing a circle on the wall in front of you with your nose. And let's come back to center. Try to float the top of your head up to touch the ceiling. Reach your hands behind your back, interlace the fingers. You can also grab a towel and hold a towel between the hands, or if you have a yoga strap. Start to root down through the shins, root down through your legs. Open up your chest, open up your throat, turn your gaze up. Let's release the bind of our hands. Sweep your arms forward. Pretend like you're hugging a tree. Round your back. Curl the chin and tailbone under. Inhale, take both arms to the sky. Long spine. And then bring the arms in front of you with your wrists to the height of the shoulders. Just take a couple of breaths. You can pretend like you're grabbing something in front of you. You can move your fingers. Maybe you give the wrists a few rolls, just warming up your wrists. And now, try to extend the arms in front of you. Send energy out through the fingertips. Keep relaxing your shoulders down and reach out through the arms as long as you can. Your palms are wide, they're turned up, gesturing to the universe that you're open to receive. Start to curl the fingertips back towards your wrists. Notice a stretch through the tiny bones on the front of your hands. And now turn the palms away from you. Spread the fingers apart. Nice job. Open the arms to cactus arms. Try to squeeze your shoulder blades in and down your spine. Create a little bit of energy between your elbows and the ribs. Start to move your heart forward and up through the gateway of your shoulders. Turn your chin up. Exhale, hug a tree. Round your back. Tuck the chin under. Inhale to a neutral spine. We're gonna walk the hands behind us. So try to just lean back into the posture. Maybe the elbows are a little bit soft behind you. If you're comfortable coming all the way down, you can lower yourself all the way down or just stay right here with me, just kind of at an in-between angle. Try to keep pressing down through the front of the knees and the shins, just inviting an opening through the front of your quadriceps. And if you're in a seated pose, you can be doing the same thing. Maybe your ankles are crossed or the legs are extended. Try to just open up your chest. Take the hands just behind your shoulders. Squeeze your shoulder blades in and down your spine. With your next breath in, let's come up to a neutral spine. We'll roll forward to all fours, tabletop pose. You can just tap out your feet. And then curl your toes under. Give yourself a little foot massage here. Press into the pads of the toes, stretch your toes. You can massage the balls of the feet on the mat and energize your arches. Start to step your knees out to the distance of the mat. Take the big toes together behind you. Let your hips float back into your heels for extended wide-legged child's pose. Try to keep pressing the hips back. Maybe they even wiggle a little bit as you bring them back. Let your forehead come all the way down to the mat. And with your forehead pressing into the earth, you want to try to feel energy moving through the spine so that the crown of your head is reaching forward. Your tailbone is pulling back. And you can almost feel that energy, maybe visualizing your spine as a ribbon of energy. And it's okay to rock your body a little bit here. Sometimes movement or rocking can be very soothing, especially if we're feeling anxious. Maybe we're feeling a little bit restless today. Let's take one more breath. Begin to stack your shoulders over your wrists. Press up through wide palms. Float yourself up to all fours and then walk your knees underneath your hips. Tuck your toes under, boop, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. And in your first down dog, maybe you want to walk out your dog. You can pedal your feet. Try to draw your chest into your thighs. Lift your hips up and back. Maybe you bend your knees in your first down dog. If your hamstrings are feeling tight, try to take a nice generous bend in the knees. Draw your belly back towards your thighs. Try to do this with the intention of creating a nice long spine. Your neck is long, you're looking back at the shins or looking back at your thighs. Your elbow creases are spiraling forward. The palms are wide. Maybe you create a pocket of air under the center of the palms. And if the knees are bent, we're going to start to let those heels ground down towards the mat. Maybe your legs are a little bit straighter. Now walk the feet to the hands. Just step yourself right up to the top of the mat. Let the big toes come together. Bend your knees, bow your head, forward fold. Inhale, nice big breath in, root to rise. Press down through the feet, reach your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Take your hands to the shins or hands to the thighs. Lift up your toes, spread your toes wide apart. Try to feel that ribbon of energy moving through the vertebral column again so that the tailbone is pulling back. The crown of your head is reaching forward. Your gaze is down. Your body is expanding in all four directions. So as you're pressing your heels into the mat, you're pulling the hamstrings to the sky. The crown of your head is reaching forward and the tailbone is pressed back. Bend your knees, bow your head, forward fold. Inhale, press through your feet, take your arms to the sky, high mountain pose. Interlace your fingers, steeple grip. The first fingers and thumbs come together. Press through the feet, lift the ribs out of your hips. Pull the belly button into the spine, tone up your bandhas, lift the pelvic floor. Pull your belly button in and up to your spine. And as you're lifting up through your heart, exhale, bend to the right, move your hips to the left. Try to breathe in and let your breath comb through the left side of the rib cage. Inhale to center. Exhale, bend to the left, move your hips to the right. Really try to plug your right heel down. Notice the right side body opening. Inhale to center with your heart lifted, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plant your palms, step back to plank. Step your feet hips distance, push back through both heels as you step back. Take a couple of breaths, just pulsing back through the heels. And drive the heels back, easing the body to stillness. Let's modify our first plank by taking our knees and shins to the mat. Tone your belly, pull the belly to the spine. Bend your elbows straight back. Try to keep your body in a straight line, come all the way down. Elbows stay tucked in. Inhale to cobra. Nice little baby cobra maybe for this first round. Press through the tops of the feet. Lift up the kneecaps, fire the quadriceps, ground down through the pubic bone, ground down through your hip bones, fire up through the glutes. Open up space through the collarbone, squeeze your shoulder blades in and down your spine. Ground through all of the contact points, and then try to lift up through the top of your head. Elbows are pinned into the ribs. Exhale, lower yourself down. Inhale, float up to tabletop. Step your knees out to the edges of the mat. Let the big toes come together behind you. And we'll find an extended wide-legged child's pose. Press the hips into the heels. Take your palms together in prayer mudra. Bend the elbows. Let your hands come back to the shoulders or the upper back. Try to keep squeezing your elbows forward. Notice your triceps awakening. Re-extend your arms. Walk your hands to the upper right corner. Cross the left arm over the right arm. Try to breathe into the left side of the rib cage. Pull the breath in. Let it comb right through the ribs. Walk your hands to the upper left corner. Cross the right arm over the left arm. Try to feel the right side body opening. Come back to center. Stack your shoulders over your wrists and then float yourself up to all fours, tabletop pose. Let's take a few rounds of cat-cow here. As you exhale, lift and round your spine, curl your chin and tailbone under. Inhale, drop your spine down, move with the breath. Exhale. Inhale. Maybe you start linking breath to movement. Exhale. With the next breath in, find a neutral spine and just take a few moments or a few breaths here, letting your body rock or sway in any way that brings you peace. You can close your eyes so that you can better connect with the sensations you feel in your body. There's no right way or wrong way to move. Begin to make barrel rolls with your hips. Imagine you're drawing a circle on the wall behind you with your tailbone. Start small and just gradually let that circle get bigger and bigger. Reverse the direction. Nice job. Come into your neutral spine. We're going to bring our knees together. Step your left foot to the back of the mat. Maybe you massage that left foot, pressing into the toes. Maybe you roll the ball of your foot on the earth. Tone up your bandhas, tone up your belly, and now float your left leg up. Dial the left pinky toe down. Extend the right arm forward. Rotate your right thumb to the sky. As you exhale, take your knee and elbow together. Round your back. Sunbird pose. Inhale, lengthen through the limbs. Exhale. Inhale. That's one. Exhale. As you inhale, just try to stay with the balance. Hold the pose here. Your hips are even and on the same plane. Your belly button is pulling up to the sky. Stack the right shoulder over the right wrist. Take your left knee to the mat. Your feet are hips distance. Curl the toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog, long spine. Take 5 breaths here. Maybe you start to cultivate your Ujjayi breath. If you're new to Ujjayi, you can practice it. Try to imagine that you want to fog up a mirror with your mouth. Try to exhale through the mouth. Once you're comfortable with that constriction in the throat, try to breathe in and out through your nostrils, holding the constriction so that as you're breathing, your breath is audible. And with your bandhas active, the pelvic floor is lifted, the belly is pulling in and up to the spine. Try to visualize a stream of energy flowing up from the root so that as you're breathing in, you're pulling prana into the body to meet the flow of prana moving up from the root. Begin to walk your feet to your hands. Step yourself right up to the tippity top of the mat. Big toes come together. Bend your knees, fold. Inhale, high mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the palms, step back to plank. Maybe you modify, maybe you don't. Knees can stay lifted. Exhale, bend your elbows straight back. Try to keep the hips and torso in a straight line. Inhale to cobra. Maybe you come up a little higher this time. Pin the elbows back. Exhale, lower down. Inhale to tabletop. Nice. And exhale to child's pose. Take any variation of child's pose that feels good for your body. So maybe your knees are wide with the toes together behind you. Maybe your legs are just hips distance. Maybe you have your legs together. Maybe you're in an embryo pose. The arms are resting alongside of you with the palms turned up. You can massage your forehead, roll it on the earth. Awaken your third eye center. Begin to stack your shoulders over your wrists. Effortlessly float yourself up to all fours, tabletop pose. Step your right foot to the back of the mat. Massage the right foot. You can roll the ball of the foot, stretch out your toes. Now drive back through the right heel. Float your right leg up. The right ankle is in line with the right hip. Dial your right pinky toe down. Flex the right foot. Pull the toes to the shin. Now balance on two limbs. Extend your left arm. Rotate your left thumb to the sky. As you exhale, glide your knee and elbow together. Squeeze. Inhale, send energy out through your limbs. Exhale. Cultivate Ujjayi breath. That's your victorious breath. Inhale, feel the energy. One more time. Exhale. Try to use your balance. Stabilize yourself. Inhale. Balancing poses help us to focus our minds on the mat. Take your limbs to the earth. Step your knees hips distance. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips. Downward facing dog. Draw the chest to the thighs. Lift your hips. Ground down through the heels. Maybe you nod your head yes. You can shake your head no, or nod your head yes. Step your feet together, three-legged dog. Take your right leg to the sky. Maybe you do a nice little standing, not standing split, I'm lying. Just take that right leg up as high as you can. Try to turn the right pinky toe down. Three-legged dog, bend your right knee. Start to spiral your right knee up to the ceiling. You can flex your right foot. Try to press evenly through both hands so that your shoulders are staying in line. Just the hip is opening. You're lifting the right leg up, right knee up rather, and it's trying to touch the ceiling. You can roll your right ankle. And if you're looking for more core work, you can lift up your left heel. Pull the belly into the spine. Maybe you circle the right leg. Let's re-extend the right leg. Dial your right pinky toe down. Exhale, take your right knee to the left elbow. Glide forward. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, right knee, right elbow, rock forward. Step your right foot to your right thumb. Runner's lunge, low. And then we're gonna float ourselves up to crescent lunge so that our left heel, our back heel is lifted as we come up. Try to press your hips forward, drop them low, pull back on the right hip crease so the hips are in line to the front of the mat. Exhale, hinge forward out of your hips. Long spine, palms turn up. Inhale, crescent lunge pose. Spin your left heel down, warrior one. Heel to heel alignment with the feet. Take your palms together. Bend your elbows. Let your thumbs come back to the shoulders or the upper back. Squeeze your triceps. Inhale, extend your arms. Open the arms to cactus arms. Step your left foot to meet your right foot at the top of the mat. Take palms to namaste. Samasthi to he. Take a restorative breath in through your nostrils. And exhale, big sigh through your mouth. Inhale, reach up, high mountain. Exhale, bow, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your palms, step back to plank. You can continue to modify your vinyasa or follow me through chaturanga. With your inhalation, start to rock yourself forward to the tips of your toes. As you exhale, bend the elbows straight back, lower halfway down. Inhale to up dog. Roll yourself to the tops of the feet. Legs and hips are lifted. The collarbone area is open. Maybe you look up. Tuck your toes, lift your hips. Downward facing dog. It's our upside down V shape. So with chaturanga, we want to focus on keeping our elbows pinned into the rib cage. It's going to keep our shoulders externally rotated. The bandhas are active and tight. We're cultivating Ujjayi. Ujjayi is energizing. It's a heating breath. So if your body is cold, it's going to help to warm your body and improve your circulation. Let's step our feet together. Take that left leg up nice and high. Dial your left pinky toe down. Bend your left knee, three-legged dog. You can flex that left foot. Spiral your left knee up. Try to touch it right up to the ceiling. Press down evenly through both hands. You can roll your left ankle or spread the toes apart. Maybe you make big sweeping motions with your left leg. Re-extend your left leg. Dial the pinky toe down. Tone up your belly. Exhale, left knee, right elbow, glide forward. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, left knee, left elbow, rock it forward. Step your left foot to your left thumb. Low lunge, float it up, crescent lunge pose. Left knee is stacked over the left ankle. Exhale, hinge out of your hips. Long spine, palms up. Inhale, crescent lunge pose. Spiral your right heel down, Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Take the palms together, bend your elbows. Squeeze the elbows forward. Inhale, extend your arms up, and now step your right foot to meet your left foot at the top of the mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your palms, step or float to plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Find your breath. Lift those hips up and back. Cultivate Ujjayi. You can always skip a vinyasa. You can always go right to down dog. You could always go, yes, I didn't mean to say that. Getting ahead of myself tonight. You can always go right to down dog. You can always go right into child's pose. Just do what feels good for your practice. Find your breath. Gaze to the top of your mat. Walk, hop, or float yourself forward. Bend your knees, bow. Inhale, high mountain. Ground down, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your palms, step or float to plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. If you are floating back from plank pose, you're gonna land at the bottom of your chaturanga. You're landing with soft elbows. The breath is gonna take you down. Spiral the elbow creases forward. Tone up the belly. Cultivate your breath. If you lose track of the breath during your flow, use downward facing dog to press the reset button. Connect with the breath again. Gaze to the top of your mat. Walk, hop, or float forward. Bend your knees, bow. Inhale to high mountain, root to rise. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bow. Plant your palms, step or float to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, 5 breaths. Remember guys, take a break anytime you feel like you need one. Take a child's pose. Try to create a nice pocket of air under the center of the palms. Your palms are pressed wide. Let the fingers grip the earth. Keep an external rotation in the shoulders. Look to the top of the mat, walk, hop, or float forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to high mountain. Exhale, bow, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your palms, step or float back. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Find the breath here. Spiral those elbow creases forward. Keep your neck nice and long. Look back at your shins or look back at your thighs. With your next breath in, sweep your right leg high. Step your right foot to your right thumb, Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Spin your left heel down. As you come up, you want to cartwheel those hands up. Heel to arch alignment with the feet. Turn the front palm to the sky. Lift your heart, reverse the warrior. Exhale to Warrior 2 pose. Cartwheel your hands down, low lunge. Inhale, float up, crescent lunge. Exhale, plant your palms, step back, downward facing dog. Lift your hips up and back. Ground down through your heels. Inhale, shift forward to plank pose. Shoulders over the wrists, press back through your heels. Exhale, lift your hips up and back. Downward facing dog, your belly is tight and strong. Inhale to plank. Exhale, lift. Inhale to plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Curl your toes, lift your hips. So when we say Dandasana in yoga, Dandasana is a Sanskrit word and it means staff. So when you think about Chaturanga Dandasana, you want to maintain the Dandasana shape with the body, the staff shape. So your body is straight like a stick. One more breath. Hollow out that belly, pull the belly to the spine. Step your feet together. Sweep that left leg up. Step your left foot to your left thumb, Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. This time we're going to spin our right heel down. I'm going to keep flipping myself around. Okay. Heel to arch alignment. Relax the shoulders. Turn the left palm to the sky. Lift your heart. Reverse the warrior. Exhale, Warrior 2. Cartwheel your hands down. Low lunge. Inhale. Float yourself up. Crescent lunge. Pull back on the left hip. Exhale. Frame your left foot with your hands. Step back. Downward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back. Ground down through your heels. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lift. Keep the belly tight. Inhale, come forward. Keep pressing back through your heels. Exhale, lift. Inhale, plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, guys. Remember, we want to be rocking forward and halfway down at the same time. Glide forward to the tips of your toes. Exhale, bend the elbows straight back. Lower halfway. Inhale, roll to the tops of your feet. Exhale, curl your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Draw the chest to the thighs, lift your hips, ground down through the heels. Find your breath. Hollow out the belly. Downward facing dog is our pose of rest. And you're like, Kate, what are you talking about? This is hard. Maybe you're saying that, maybe you're not. It gets easier, I promise. All right, let's very slowly as you can, boop, take your knees down. There you go, there's a rest. Tabletop. We're gonna inhale to hovering cat pose. Press through the tops of your feet, press through your palms, lift up your hips. We're gonna float the knees and float the shins. This is your core, guys. Use that core. Very slowly, lower those legs down. Okay. Gate pose. Step your right foot off of the mat. Bring the arch of the right foot in line to your left kneecap. Nice job. Walk your hands back, come up. Take your right hand to your right leg. Sweep that left arm up and over. So you're bending towards the extended leg. You're rooting to the outside edge of your right foot. You're pulling your belly to the spine. You're lifting your heart to the sky. Cartwheel your hands down to modified side plank. So we're gonna float our right leg up. Bring your right ankle in line with your right hip. Stack the right shoulder on top of your left shoulder. Bend your left knee if you can make the bind here. We're gonna reach back. We're gonna grab for the inside edge of our right foot. Nice little quadriceps opener. Nice job. Let's return to our modified side angle pose. And we're gonna bring our limbs back to the mat. The right leg stays lifted. Float your left arm up. Exhale, sunbird. Squeeze your knee and elbow together. Inhale, lengthen your limbs. Take your right knee to the mat. Circle your left arm to the sky. Look up. Exhale, thread the needle. Left temple, left shoulder, come down. Your hips are neutral. Your hips are lifting up and back. Just the rib cage is spiraling up. The right arm can extend up. It can drape behind you. Maybe you want to find the balancing pose here. If you want to try the balancing pose, you can take your hands to the heart. Walk your right leg to the back of the mat. Get your balance. Pull your belly to your spine. And float that right leg up. This is a tricky little balance, but it's fun. Okay, guys, let's start to journey ourselves back to center. Inhale, float yourselves up. Curl the toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Drive your chest to your thighs, lift your hips. Up and back. Find your breath, 5 breaths here. Remember, we're lifting our hips up and back, and at the same time, we're trying to press our heels down. The backs of the legs are very strong and active. You're pulling your belly button in and up to your spine. You're lifting your pelvic floor, activating the Mula Bandha, the root walk. Okay, bend your knees. We're gonna come down nice and slow. Slow like molasses. Come on down. Okay. Inhale, hovering cat pose. Press through the tops of your feet. I know this looks gnarly. I get it. It's good for your core. And giving the tops of your feet a stretch. Try to keep your neck long. Just let your head hang. Okie dokie. Let those knees make their way to the earth. Step your knees together. Step your left leg off of the mat, gate pose. So the arch of your left foot is in line with your right kneecap. Walk those hands back. Sweep your right arm up and over. We're arching towards our extended leg. Press down through your foundation. Lift up through your heart. Cartwheel your hands down. Side plank. Float your left leg up. You want to feel as though your torso is being pressed between 2 panes of glass. You're flexing your left foot. You're pulling your toes to the shins, and you're continuously pushing the left heel away from you. Let's try to make that bind if we can. Bend your left knee. We're gonna roll our left shoulder back. So roll that shoulder back, reach back. Try to grab the inside of your left foot. Press the top of your left foot into the hand. Hug the hand into the foot. We're looking up and over our left shoulder. Nice job, guys. Okay, let's release the bind. We're gonna return to modified side plank, and we're just going to take our limbs back to the mat. Float your right arm up for sunbird pose. Exhale, squeeze your knee and elbow together. Round it. Nice job. Inhale, lengthen your limbs. Push back through your left heel. Dial the left pinky toe down. Take just your left knee to the mat. Circle the right arm up. Exhale, thread the needle. Right shoulder, right temple, boop, down. You can press into your left hand for leverage as you spiral your heart up. Try to keep your hips and shoulders neutral, just lifting up and back in space. Maybe you want to take your left arm up or let it drape behind you. And again, if you want to find that balancing pose, take the palms to prayer. You can take your left leg to the back of the mat and float the left leg up. Good times. Okay, let's take our left leg down. Float yourself up effortlessly to all fours. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Draw the chest to the thighs, lift your hips, ground down through your heels. Keep your neck long. Find your breath. Step your feet together, right leg sweeps up high, yeah. Step your right foot to your right thumb, Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Spin your left heel down, cartwheel your arms up. Gaze out into your future. Turn your front palm to the sky, lift the heart, reverse the warrior. Press through the feet, lift to the heart, lengthen your spine. Exhale, Virabhadrasana 2. Inhale, side angle pose. Take your right forearm to your right thigh. Reach that left arm up and over. Press to the outside edge of your left foot. Remember the gate pose we just did. Use the strength of your core. We're going to let our right arm swing. Pull the belly to the spine. Now sweep your right arm up. Bring the right biceps by your right ear. Exhale, Warrior 2. Cartwheel your hands down, low lunge. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, downward facing dog. Frame your front foot, step back. Nice job, guys. Draw your chest to your thighs, lift your hips, ground down through your heels. Find your breath here. We're just doing a short down dog. Take your left leg up. Step your left foot to your left thumb, Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Come on up. Reverse the warrior. Inhale. Exhale, Warrior 2. Inhale, side angle pose. Left forearm, left thigh. The right arm is reaching up and over. Your hips are facing the long edge of the mat. Just your rib cage is spiraling up. Try to feel both sides of your body lengthening. So this left side body is lengthening just like the right side is. Use your core. Swing that arm. If you're hot right now, you're like, woo! Fanning yourself off. Okay, bring that left arm up. Look up towards the right palm. Exhale, Virabhadrasana 2. Cartwheel your hands down to low lunge. Inhale, crescent lunge. Stay balanced. As you come up, exhale to downward facing dog. Frame your left foot, step it back. Lift your hips up and back, root down through your heels. One more breath here. Look to the top of your mat, walk, hop, or float forward. Big toes come together, bow your head. Bend your knees. Inhale to high mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, bow. Plant your palms, step or float to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hollow out your belly, find your breath. Keep your neck long, look back at the shins, look back at your thighs. Step your feet together. Take your right leg high. Exhale, bring your right knee to your left elbow. Rock your shoulders over your wrist. Tone up your core. Fallen triangle pose. Extend your right leg. Step to the outside edge of your right foot. Drop the inside edge of your left foot. Boop, spiral it down. Stack your right shoulder over your right wrist. Lift your hips to the sky. Reach your left arm up. You can do this, you guys. Pull your belly into your spine. Take your left hand to the mat. Step back to plank. Good job, you guys. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips up and back. Find your breath. Try to awaken energy at your root by lifting your pelvic floor. Pull your belly button in and up to your spine. Let's take our left hand, grab a hold of your right leg. Pull your chest towards your right thigh. Look underneath your right shoulder. Look up. Okay, left hand to the mat. Take your right hand, grab a hold of your left leg, pull your chest to your left thigh, look under your left shoulder, gaze up. Okay, take your right hand to the mat, look to the top of your mat, walk, hop, or float forward. If you want to try to float forward, you want to hop it forward. So your hips are going to stack over the shoulders, and then you use your core strength just to float your feet down. I can't do it yet, but I try. You're supposed to land very softly. Bend your knees, forward fold. Inhale to high mountain. Reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bow. Plant your palms, step or float to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a restorative breath in your down dog. Lift your hips, ground down through your heels. Step your feet together. Take your left leg up. As you exhale, take your left knee to the right elbow, rock your shoulders over the wrists. Inhale, fallen triangle. Extend your left leg, step to the outside edge of your left foot. Spiral the inside edge of your right foot down. Lift your hips up nice and high like a rainbow. Look up at the right palm. Take your right hand down, step back, plank, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Woo, holy moly. Lots of core work today. Keep your neck long. Look back at the shins, look back at your thighs. Gaze to the top of your mat, walk, hop, or float yourself forward. Bend your knees, bow your head, forward fold. Inhale to high mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, bow. Inhale to chair pose, Utkatasana. Scoop that tailbone down, keep your spine nice and long. Sweep your arms back, lift up your heels, squeeze your ankles, squeeze your knees and thighs together. Inhale, chair. Lift up your heels, take your hands to your heart, keeping your heels lifted. Start to slowly bring yourself down into a squat. This is going to help to improve your ankle mobility and ankle strength. Take your hands down. If you have crow pose in your practice and you'd like to take crow pose, you can do it here. You can bring your feet out hips distance. You want to plant your hands underneath your shoulders. So just like chaturanga, we're going to make our chaturanga arms. Lift your hips up and back. Keep your heels lifted. Bend the elbows straight back. Take your knees one at a time to your tricep shelf. Try to press down through your hands. Create that pocket of air under the center of your palms, and then let all 10 fingerprints grip the earth. When you feel like you're balanced, you're going to lift up one heel at a time. Bring it towards your glute. You're gazing forward 3 feet in front of you, and your core is strong. Your bandhas are active. Try to balance here. If you feel stable and you feel good, you can pop it back to the bottom of chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Find your breath. Spiral the elbow creases forward. Okie dokie. Very slowly, lower your knees down to the mat. Take a seat. Grab a hold of your hamstrings. We're going to bend our knees. Goat pose Navasana. Relax your shoulders. Lift up through your sternum. Keep your neck nice and long. Lift up through the crown. Float the shins. We can modify by keeping one foot down at a time, or take them both up. You can also take the arms off of your hamstrings with your palms turned up. Keep lifting through the crown and through the heart. We're going to start to open up our body. Use the strength of your core to lower yourself down. You can also do this with your feet down to modify. Okay. Oh, take a rest. Bring yourself onto your back. Okay. Knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around your shins. Give yourself a nice big hug. Think about how hard you worked in your yoga practice today. You did a great job. You took a class virtually. You're trying something new, perhaps. So just close your eyes. Let your heart fill up with light and with love. When you're ready, take your legs to the sky, point and flex your feet, roll your ankles. Let the legs fan out into a nice wide straddle for happy baby pose. Bend your knees, reach your hands up. You can rock and roll yourself. You have the option in happy baby pose to keep the legs kind of a little bit wider. Maybe you want to keep them closer. Try to keep pressing down through your tailbone, grounding it into the mat. Start to slowly draw your legs together. Wrap your arms around your legs, pull the legs back, and as you're drawing your legs back, try to press your tailbone down. Keep stretching out the backs of the legs. Let's release the bind. Press your heels to the sky, draw your toes to the shins, pull your belly button into your back, grip your back into the earth. Using the strength of your core, slowly take your legs all the way down to the mat. If the low back lifts as your legs come down, re-engage your core. Step your feet hips distance for bridge pose. Stack your knees over your ankles, ground through your heels, lift your hips to the sky. Maybe you clasp your hands underneath your low back. Press down through the heels. Try to track your knees to the second and third toes on your feet. Tuck your shoulder blades in and down your spine, and then lift yourself up right from the heart. Try to notice opening through your chest and through your shoulders. Your belly is hollow. As you exhale, slowly take your hips down to the mat. Bring the soles of your feet together. Let your knees splay out. Supta Baddha Konasana. Bound angle pose. Take your left hand over your heart and the right hand to the low belly. Maybe placing it an inch or two below your belly button. I invite you to close your eyes. Or just keep your gaze very, very soft. Begin to notice your breath. Notice all of the sensations you feel as you're breathing. Begin to develop your 3-part breath. So as you're breathing in through the nostrils, try to pull your breath into the low belly. Imagine you're filling your belly up like a balloon. As you feel the low belly filling, you can slide both of your hands now to the rib cage, fill the ribs with the breath, and then take your hands to the upper chest and shoulders. So we're breathing into the low belly first, and we're filling ourselves up. Use your hands to trace the path of the breath as it moves up. As you move to exhalation, you can reverse the trace of the breath. Let your hands slide down as you empty the breath out. With your inhalation, soften the low belly. Try to envision your diaphragm dropping down so the lungs can inflate. And with your exhalation, try to visualize your diaphragm lifting up into the lungs so that the lungs can empty completely. Let's finish up one last cycle of breath here. If your body is craving any final stretches or any final postures, I invite you now to use the next 5 breaths to take any final pose you're needing or craving. And when you're ready, you can just bring yourself into your Shavasana pose, your final resting posture. You can choose any for your body today. There's no right or wrong pose to choose. If you're feeling a little bit more restless or anxious, taking an inversion like this, maybe bringing your legs to rest up against the wall is a good option. It's more grounding. If you're feeling really kind of tired right now, maybe you just rest on your back and just step the legs away from you. Let your feet splay out. So start to settle yourself in right now. And as you find this final posture, I invite you to close your eyes and start to bring the consciousness inward. Become aware of the crown of your head. Start to scan down through the face. Try to flatten out the forehead. Relax the muscles around your eyes. Let your eyes rest heavily within their sockets. With your mouth closed, your teeth are gently parted. Your tongue is soft. It's resting at the bottom of your mouth. Your neck is long, and your throat is soft. Your shoulders are relaxing away from the ears. And as you scan down through your arms, you turn your palms up to the sky to gesture to the universe that you're open to receive. Try to scan through the trunk of the body. Notice if there's any areas you can soften just a little bit more. Try to relax your hips, your legs. Try to feel the quadriceps softening. Your hamstrings are lengthening. And scan all the way down to the feet, becoming aware of the toes. And as you make this final scan of your body, relax the body as much as you can. Begin to notice the earth beneath you. Allow the earth to support you. Let it hold you. Try to allow the inside of your body to soften. Let your heart open. Let your mind open. And when you're ready, begin your Shavasana. Begin to make small movements by wiggling your fingers and toes. Make circles with your wrists and ankles. Roll onto your side and rest. your head to hang and letting your head come up last. Use your hands and guide yourself to a seated posture. Take the palms together in front of your heart and bow your head to your heart. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us tonight virtually. We're doing other classes on Zoom right now, and it's easy peasy. You just sign up through Mind Body. You can go on the website, lovecooliyoga.com. You just sign up on Mind Body, and then I email you 15 to 20 minutes before class. There's a link in the email. When you click the link, it brings you right into Zoom, so you don't have to do anything. It just opens up. Okie dokie. Bye, guys. Thank you.